Hey out there, this is David Duford from Final Expense Agent Mentor at feagentmentor.com. Today we're going to talk about a great company that I've been working with for a while called Security National Life Insurance. This video is going to serve as a short overview of the advantages and some minor disadvantages of Security National, so if you're interested in possibly picking this up, you can get a good detailed look at how this company works and specifically why the final expense product is a great tool to add to your toolbox. So a little bit about the company first. It was founded in 1965 with the home office out of Salt Lake City, Utah. They do have several decades of final expense experience, and when you deal with them, I certainly feel like a small company type of feel. You talk to the same people, the management feels like they want to work with you. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So some of the advantages of the final expense product. Let's get right to it. So the final expense product that most agents would write, their issue ages are from 40 to 90 years old. So a lot of people will occasionally run into somebody older than 85. That's usually the cutoff for most final expense products. So this is good to have in those situations where you've got to get somebody a little bit more coverage in that age range and you want something but nothing really hits it. This is one of a few carriers that will do it over 85. Security National does not have a point of sale interview. Now sometimes that's a concern with some agents because they want to know before they go they've got the deal issued and approved. But the truth is that with Security National, since they only check prescription history to determine insurability and not the MIB, it's easier to get policies issued if you've got thorough prescription history information. So I've talked to different agents in this business that use Security National, and most of them will report an issue as applied for ratio of about 90 to 95%, which means if you send in 18 applications or 19 applications, your 20 applications, 19 are going to get issued without any kind of administrative problems or rate-ups or anything like that, and that's very powerful. One of the things that gets agents in this business is that they work with these carriers that look great on paper, and they have so many administrative burdens, additional paperwork, signatures. They don't do a point of sale. They're very detailed, and what happens is a lot of business gets missed out on because you really got one shot when you're in the home to get the deal done, get it done right. And with Security National, despite there being no point of sale interview, they're very liberal in getting stuff issued, and with productive, highly productive agents using them on a regular basis, it is comforting to know that, hey, 19 out of 20 going to get issued as applied for. That's pretty good. It's a 4-page application, again lending to the carrier's product simplicity. You got 2 spots to sign if you're not replacing a policy, existing policy, just on the credit debit card bank draft page, and then also just a regular authorization page. Easy to do. New guys will like it. Experienced guys will like it. Now they do have, I call this a quote-unquote near guaranteed issue product. They accept all sorts of stuff that you normally would have to send to higher price guaranteed issue products that don't pay as well. For example, Security National in many cases will take kidney dialysis, oxygen usage, wheelchair confinement, anything like cancer, heart issues, that kind of stuff in the last 2 years, congestive heart failure. They will take it on a 2-year waiting period basis. The advantage to Security National is their pricing for those products is very strong, and they issue them, like I said, a very high percentage of the time. And compared compensation compared to a standard guaranteed issue carrier to Security National, Security National always typically has higher percentage. Coupled with the bonus credit, which we'll talk about later, it's a really good proposition for the producing agent that wants to make sure they're working with a company that's going to reward them with a better commissionable rate. Now, the competitive, like I said, the pricing's competitive on all the products. The preferred is competitive, the standard is competitive, as well as the graded product. It takes debit and credit cards, so if you run into a direct express piece of business or these net spend cards, that kind of thing, you're cool there, I'll take it. The prescription schedule check is really liberal. They'll allow a lot of cardio medications that are normally kind of tougher to deal with. For example, Plavix is okay after 2 years. Carvedilol, Coreg, furosemide, Lasix, all those things are okay if they're used for blood pressure. The few things that are knockouts are like heavy blood thinners like Coumadin, Xarelto, that kind of thing, or nitroglycerin. The bonus is great. So this is what really is nice about Security National is it's very easy to hit their 10% lead credit bonus. All you have to do is issue $1,000 in premium a month, and you get a 10% lead bonus. And the way the program works is you apply that lead bonus towards a purchase with one of their vendors. If you work through final expense, the vendors we work with will easily and happily take the lead bonus credit. And it's a 50-50 kind of split. So if you buy $500 worth of leads, Security National will match half of that, so it'll go $250 in. So either way, you're still spending money to make money, but you're doing it at a lesser rate. The home office support is really nice with this company. They do two things that's really impressive in my mind. First, they'll follow up with your clients who lapse or miss payment, and they'll let you know if they can't reach them. So that kind of relieves a little burden off you. And then also, the home office support, when you've got pending agent requirements or if you have issues, the management at Security National is really easy to work with and really easy to reach. Underwriting's easy to work with as well as customer service. So, again, from an experienced agent standpoint personally, I like working with a company that appreciates me, that wants to help me succeed. They do that pretty well. That's why I like working with them. And that's kind of the main thing I want to kind of conclude with this section is that for agents that want to learn final expense, brand new agents, they're very good. 3-4 pages, accepts a lot of conditions. That's great. Takes credit, debit, bank accounts. You want to learn on a carrier that is simple, that issues a lot is applied for, so that you can get out there and work and get paid instead of screwing around with a carrier that, is just an administrative burden, really should be reserved for more experienced agents. And as I expressed, Security National is great for the experienced agents looking for a niche carrier for healthy and not so healthy applicants. And then disadvantages, there's not very many. First of all, just to clarify, the graded plan that Security National has is not graded in the sense of its partial coverage in the first 2 years. Security National has a 2-year waiting period product. That's what the graded is. So when I talk about the graded, it's 2-year wait. Still, despite that, you can cover a lot of conditions easily and not get a haircut on your comp like you would sending it to a guaranteed issue type of product. It pays on draft, not on issue. So if you sell it on June the 4th, they want to set it up payments on the 3rd. They want to start the next month. You don't get paid until they collect that money. So there is a lead time on it, but that's actually a good thing because the carriers that have the most chargeback problems are the ones that issue business immediately after it's approved, before they even collect the first premium. And just in this business, you'll run into a lot of deadbeats that want to, change your mind after the fact. And so this kind of protects you from kind of the chargeback exposure problem. You only get a 30% advance on debit and credit card business. That's, in my mind, okay, because that business is the most volatile, probably the least quality. So you really shouldn't get an advance on debit, express, and credit card business fully. This is a good thing for the agent, despite maybe some grumbling. And then lastly, the Security National is a smaller company, so it has a smaller distribution channel. It's available in most of the states where final expense is popular, but it's not necessarily out there in all the states yet. So we're just gonna, if you're interested in the product, it's just worth giving me a jingle, and I can check on availability for you if you have any kind of interest in it. So just to conclude here, final thoughts on Security National. I really think this company is a must-have, not just for new agents, for experienced agents too. They fit a lot of niches. They're so easy to work with. I love carriers that don't have a point-of-sale interview. and I'm willing to deal with some of the disadvantages inherent, meaning rate ups, underwriting issues that may pop up after you submit the application. And Security National is a cut above pretty much everything else out there, and getting business issued easily, and then having a supportive home office to make sure that things will get done. Which is why I mentioned, if you work with these companies and they've got 10, 15 pages to work through, and you feel like you're an administrative gopher going back and forth with the client, getting signatures, amendments signed, all this nonsense, Security National is so easy. You'll love them. And like I said, if you're interested in Security National, check out my webpage, feagentmentor.com. Go to the contact page and just request more information about Security Life. You can put that into the contact body box, and I'll send you some stuff over to look at. And you will like them a lot if you start using them. Again, this is David Duford from Final Expense Agent Mentor. Check me out again at feagentmentor.com. Thanks. Have a great one.